Hello everyone. Today we'll be seeing how using APIs, the purpose of functionality and user experience can be improved. You can achieve results like these. And get access to real-time data from the application itself. To know more about how this can be achieved, please keep watching. APIs for the uninitiated is a method by which one application speaks to another. In our case, the first application is PeopleSoft, and the second application could be Facebook, it could be Yahoo, it could be Twitter, it could be any application, as long as the application provides us an API. In our case, we are going to use Google APIs. Google provides hundreds of APIs, if not thousands. Based on our need, we are going to select the appropriate API, which is Google Maps API. The link for this website is provided in the description of the video. If you go through this website, you'll find that the APIs are categorized based on the platforms. We'll be using the web service APIs. If you look at this page, there are not one, not two, but three APIs in action. The Google Maps Distance Matrix API provides total distance and the travel time. The directions are provided by Google Maps Direction API, and the embedded map is rendered by Google Maps Embedded API. Let's look at them one by one, but let's start with the simplest one, Google Maps Distance Matrix API. This API provides us the total distance and travel time. Google provides tutorials and sample codes which you can play with. If you look at the API call, there are two sections, the request and the response. The request is URL based and the response can be JSON or XML based. Let's look at the request part in more details. On further observation, you can find that the request URL also has three sections to it. The first section is called the action. There's nothing much that we are going to change to this, but I want the response in XML because I'm more comfortable with XML. So I'm going to change JSON to XML. Next is the parameters. Parameters can be understood as the part of API which are standardized. Example, origins here means the from location. The destination means the to location. Similarly, there are other parameters that can be used. The parameters start with ampersand. The values that have been provided in front of these parameters constitute of the third part. If you look at the last parameter over here, it's called the key. This is the most important parameter which authenticates the API call. Before getting your API key, there's one more simple step that you'll have to perform, and that is evaluating which plan you'll need. Click on View Pricing and Plans and find out which plan is the most suitable for you. For me, the free plan was sufficient. If you have any confusion, you can reach out to their sales team and they are very responsive. Going back to getting the API key, all you have to do is you have to log in to the Google account using your own user ID password and then press get a key. You will be prompted with such a window. You'll have to select a project. I created a test demo project. To begin with, you can create any other project with a different name and just press Enable API. Here you will get a key. This is your API key. I'm going to copy this key and place it as a parameter value. This is the value of parameter ampersand key. Now that we have all the parameters that are required, we are going to make an API call. My origin is zip code 19809 and my destination is zip code 07002. I'm going to retrieve results in metric format and this is my API key. I have done this on our PeopleSoft UI. Let's see how it looks in the browser. Once this URL is formed, I'm just going to copy this URL and place it in one of the browsers. Now you can see this is the response that I've received. It tells me the time duration it would take to drive from Wilmington, Delaware to Bayonne, New Jersey. It also tells me distance in kilometers. It tells me distance in kilometers because we have selected metric units. Now if I select imperial units, I'll get a response in miles. See? This is how easy it is to get the distance and time required to travel between point A to point B. Now let's take a look at the direction API. As mentioned earlier, to get the directions, I need the directions API. So let's go to the directions API. Google Maps APIs, get started. Web Service APIs, Google Maps Direction APIs. Similar to the previous scenario, we have a live example that we can follow. I'll just run through this because the method is the same. Like the direction matrix API, I need a new API key over here. I'll repeat the procedure. This is a different API key from the one that I previously received. Please do not copy these API keys. I'll be disabling them and they would be of no use later on. So it is better you use the API keys that are generated for your application. Once I have this URL, I'll be pasting it in a browser. And this is the response that I get. The response might look very confusing to you at first, but if you look at it slowly, you'll understand what it actually means. You'll get the mode of transport, you'll get the time, you'll get HTML instructions where you'll be provided precise instructions about the directions that you have to make a turn in. And this gets repeated again and again until you reach your destination. So this is how the Google APIs work. Now that we know how the directions API works, we are going to go to the embedded Google Map API. For this, we follow the same procedure. Get started. Google Maps embedded API. you go through the demo and sample codes, you'll see there are different type of APIs that are available. Street view or directions or location, or just showcasing your place. We are going to use the direction API. You can use others based on your need. How this API works is that you get an iframe object which you have to embed in your HTML page. This HTML would be an HTML object area on PeopleSoft page. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to use W3 Schools HTML editor. First, let's look at the parameters that we are going to pass to this API call. First is origin. This is the zip code that I want to pass as an origin. This is the destination, and then all you need is your API key. I'll follow the same procedure to get a new API key. Once you get the API key, you can place this API key in the iframe object. You can also provide parameters like the width and height. Now I'm going to pick up this iframe object and place it in W3 Schools HTML editor. I'm just using this for display purposes. See, this is the exact map that you see on the website. Now you know how Google API can be used to get the distance, direction, and the map. In this video, we have learned to make a request to the Google APIs. In the next video, we are going to read the responses that are sent by Google APIs and develop this page. Thank you.